Welcome back to my Serbian base camp. As you can see behind me, especially this part, is total jungle. Look at what I am looking out of my window at. It is nature at its purest form. I am going to do a mission, Get Me Water number 2. If you haven't seen number 1, where I have been building a dam, check the link up here or in the description. And because the attempt number 1 didn't work, all the water pipes that are coming from that reservoir back to my house are probably frozen and leaking somewhere, so I'm gonna be trying to divert this little water stream somewhat and hope that this little river will start flowing directly through my property. Before starting any digging, however, let me give you a survival tip for Serbia number 1, which is Niško beer. Amazing beer out of Niš, the capital of southeast Serbia. Let me share a little cheers with you before I leave it here for cooling. Hope it's not too warm. It was sitting in the back of my car for a bit. Yes, it is warm, but it is Niško. Best Serbian beer in my opinion. Remember this label, a must-have for any hard work or any good party in the Balkans. So let's go back to work. One stream coming from here, another creating somehow a natural wall here, natural barrier. So I'll use this to continue and diverting it so it can stay 2 meters higher and hopefully reach my garden. Alright, tastes much better. Luckily I didn't clouded the water that much, almost not at all, so it's clean and safe to drink. Although this water is probably clean and safe to drink as well. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not doing something useless again, but we shall see until a little bit further, until I get a little bit further. If it's not gonna work, then it's gonna be heavy machinery involved, drilling a well, or thinking of creative ideas how to bring the water in. Otherwise, maybe laying the new pipe into the reservoir that I successfully managed to get water in, but not out of there. So it's a mission, honestly. This property I knew that there is no water when I was buying it. There was a chance because there were these old ventils and pipes and everything, and the owner was like, well, I don't know, you know, that's why it's cheap, I don't know. And so I took the risk, bought it, and now a few years later I'm still existing without water, even though water is maybe 200 meters, and I'm bringing it usually in a wheelbarrow full of bottles and barrels. But yeah, having a shower, you know, it's difficult. It basically doesn't exist. You maybe make a hole in a bottle and spray it over yourself, pretending it's a shower. So yeah, it is somewhat difficult, but it is beautiful on the other hand, you know. Now I'm sitting here next to this little pond. It's raining, but I have my beer. I'm in Serbia, you know. Just breathing the freedom makes you feel better. I can't imagine being now getting to be stuck in any other place, honestly. And now, you know, I always speak about Serbia and Bulgaria. Both are amazing. It just depends where you're from, what you can afford, where you can go. I have nothing against this or that. You know, a lot of people are always thinking, yes, but what about the EU? Well, I see no EU around here, either in Serbia or Bulgaria. Where in the mountains, if you're living in this sort of conditions, somebody will chase you like you're one of a million, you know what I mean? It's a joke, honestly. So I stopped thinking like this long time ago. So no worries, go for it. Check the links in the description. I have some properties on sale. This one as well, but I'm not so sure. It must be for the right buyer. I did a lot of work here. There is my little hobbit house. So, you know, it is for somebody who is willing to kind of take over whatever I'm doing here and maybe continue further with this idea of some sort of wilderness camp or personal retreat, for which it's actually really good, you know, to heal any trauma and things like that. It's good to be alone for a while. In certain conditions, you know, it's better to be between people after breakups and things like that. But once the initial period of the hardest times fades, then it makes sense to be alone for a while and process everything in peace. And so I'm thinking I'll be making some retreats in my properties when the right time comes, and you know, when I make it a little bit more comfortable, because how do you want to retreat if you're struggling to have a bath, you know? That's the question. But the struggle may heal you, you know. You might as well just go and have a bath here to deal with some extreme trauma. So yeah, let's have a look. How is my channel going? Nice. Progressing somewhat. The dam here don't have to be that big at all. But yeah, it's starting to flow. And it started raining a little bit too much for my taste. It is also getting a little bit dark for the video. To make a good video is important, even though nobody's watching it. If you're my regular watcher or subscriber, I thank you very much. But you must have noticed that the views on probably last 5 to 10 videos were miserable. So I'll try to keep them short and punchy because it is a lot of processing power. I am now back off grid and it is difficult to give you the consistency and all this production for nobody to be watching it. So yeah, this is the algorithm kind of war, or how to call it. They really do dictate what gets shown and what not, and obviously for the last month and a half all eyes had to be on Iran. So I have seen also on similar Balkan focused channels that their numbers were down, so I think it's natural. It's not just me like that I am somehow special. It is a broad informational blockade. Our videos are basically not being shown to anybody. Every time you open your YouTube feed, you'll see Trump screaming around like a wild monkey. So it is what it is. That's the world we live in. But doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep on keeping on because I like this. I value every single view. So if you're still with me after some 60 plus videos in maybe 8 months of existence here, I haven't done every week, but I try to be persistent and consistent, and hopefully I'll have enough content to share with you guys. So with that, one last cheers. I really need to get my cover. I'm reaching my hobbit house now. I want to show you something absolutely amazing, and that is that the hobbit house itself is built around a peach tree which is now blooming. Damn, it's raining hard, but look at this. This is really cool. So for a lot of peaches this season, cheers.